Celeste Rivas Hernandez, we have not forgotten about you. You have not been in the news for a few weeks, so we are bringing your name back up, trying to get you back into the cycle and ensuring that people do not forget. As a refresher, Celeste Rivas Hernandez was a 14-year-old girl. Her remains were found in pieces, we now know, per court docs. They were found in pieces in September of 2025 in the frunk of singer David's Tesla. I roll my eyes, and you know why if you watch this video. First of all, the entire case and the fact that there has been no arrests. And also, I am so sick of saying the word frunk and D4vd. So irritating. But I want to pick up where we last left off, where David's family had filed a writ in order to not testify in front of a grand jury in California. They had filed a writ of habeas corpus, essentially saying that their due process was violated because they had no idea what they were going to testify for, because the documents were so heavily redacted and they didn't know why they were these very important material witnesses. So in my last video, I had said, I don't know if they were granted a motion to stay, if the court had said, okay, no, we are going to body attach you and you have to go to Los Angeles for XYZ date. I wasn't sure. But later that day, I ended up putting it out on Twitter. And I didn't end up making a new video, but I actually had heard back from the family's attorney. His name is Kent Schaefer, and I'm going to pull it up right here. And Kent actually said, quote, "Actually, the same day that the Court of Appeals denied our writ, we filed a writ in the Court of Criminal Appeals, which granted our motion to stay the lower court's order. The case is currently pending in the Court of Criminal Appeals." And I have followed up with Kent, so I don't know if I'll hear back soon or not. And I've been checking the docket, but so far there's really nothing new there. But I did find it interesting that they were able to get a stay. So it's kind of on hold, I guess. And at this point, I was under the impression, just through my sources, that the grand jury would last through February. That was the plan. They had other witnesses to call, and we were all really crossing our fingers and hoping for some kind of movement or an arrest in March. Now, with this news of the stay, that his family is not being forced to testify anytime soon because of this, I'm not so sure. And many of you might be thinking, well, okay, how important is it for his family to testify, in front of a grand jury? Well, I think it's very important, and it's very important for a number of reasons. And I was one of those people that I was like, well, his family didn't exactly live with him. What does it matter? What if they have their testimony or not? Well, it definitely matters, because everything that I've researched would show that he is very close with his family, his siblings, his parents. He was reportedly in Texas at one point after Celeste's body was found. I believe he is back in California, just per my sources. But if you're not aware, in most grand juries, if not all, the jurors are actually allowed to ask witnesses questions. They can ask questions through the prosecutor. And I think that David's immediate family might know certain pieces of information that could establish a timeline. And I think that this timeline is very, very important. So they can establish, right, what David was doing, possibly throughout the course of the summer. If he visited Texas, if they visited California, what he was doing before his tour launched. So they could also observe his behavior. Did he have any injuries? Was he acting weird at a certain point before he went on tour? Did they see his car? Did they notice anything different about his car? Anything? Did the suspect, and I mean, David. So I should say the target, I guess. Did the target, David, did he say anything to his parents or his family about his car, about Celeste? Oh, I'm seeing this girl, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. I do feel like David seemingly had a very close relationship with his family based on the videos that I've seen. I mean, it's wild. I was watching this video where he's being interviewed by Benny Blanco, and I should play a part of it because he references singing in the church choir, and I know that his dad, I know his dad, it's very convoluted. Some people say his dad was a paralegal or worked in the legal field. Well, his dad did work in the legal field, and he's some sort of tech paralegal, but I believe he also is a pastor or heavily involved in the church. So I was just like, man, this is crazy. Like, what happened to this kid, David? I mean, where he seemingly came from a good family, and now he's the target of a murder investigation. Yeah, wild. So what I also believe would be the most important reason for his family, seemingly his mother, to testify would be the property transfers. So when did the transfer happen? Exactly. When did he discuss this with her? Did he discuss why? Who suggested it? Did his mom suggest it, or did he suggest it? Was money involved in this? Was there any exchange of anything? Why is he shielding his assets? I mean, there are so many questions here. I feel like that prosecutors or the jurors could ask. So the last thing that I just want to talk about, well, I guess financial records could go hand in hand with that as well, with the property assets and all of that stuff. Yeah, they could ask about certain financial records. They most likely have access to some of his records. I know he's an adult, but he started when he was technically a minor. So maybe they have control over some of that, and they, could answer some questions. But no, I was going to say the last thing would be evidence. His family could speak about certain things. Were certain things destroyed in his home? Were certain things cleaned? Did he bring anything home to Texas with him that they thought was strange? There's a lot of questions here. And again, I feel like the family is so important. And that is why we need them to get in front of this grand jury. It's tough to testify about certain behaviors. I mean, or I guess the state of mind of the target or the person that they're talking about. But I know that prosecutors would have a way of asking these questions. So yeah, that is where I'm at. And that noise you just heard, by the way, was my email. And I'm just wondering if possibly, nope, that I'm like, did I get an email back from the family attorney? No, it was just a reminder that I have a meeting soon. So, I'm going to just leave you with this video that I found of David and Benny Blanco. And again, it just blows my mind because this guy really seemed like he was going to be big. He was on a path where I just feel like he was going to become very successful because he seemed to be so smart in what he was doing and how he was doing this. Like, he basically said he made these 2 songs on SoundCloud that totally went viral and nobody even knew who he was. So yeah, I am just like, what happened? How did you allegedly fall from grace? And why Celeste? Why? And you know what? Regardless of, and look, I know we are talking about a grand jury document that says the people versus David Burke. So he is a target. I know that doesn't make him guilty. Clearly, that makes him a major person of interest here. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that he knows. If let's just say, obviously innocent until proven guilty, whatever. He didn't do it. He knows. He has information. If you cared about her and you care about her family and her family having closure and her friends and everyone who cared about her, why not talk? You have a lawyer. You have a very expensive lawyer, Blair Burke. Talk. Say something. I mean, this is just making everything worse, in my opinion. But anyway, let's just play a part of this so you can sort of see. Like I said, I guess just the fall from grace here.
My Apple earbuds in, and I use my sister's closet as a studio. So I'm like in here, it's dark. We got like robes and everything, blankets, whatever. And I'm looking up type beats on YouTube. I looked up emo piano type beat for the first song I ever dropped, and then I freestyled the whole thing, paced it down, slowed it down, tried to make, because in 2021 all the chopped and screwed stuff was still like kind of trending. So I dropped it on SoundCloud. Didn't put it in the video yet, but then it started going up on SoundCloud. And I was like, okay, it's time.
But how's it going up on SoundCloud?
I have no clue. I put the hashtags though.
What
the tags,
hashtags?
Hashtag emo, hashtag chill, hashtag lo-fi, hashtag slow and reverb, hashtag blow this up, and hashtag for you page.
It was blow this up. That was the one that really took it.
And the for you page too.
And then you posted this on YouTube.
Just SoundCloud.
Oh, just SoundCloud.
Just SoundCloud.
And like, how many plays are we talking?
5,000 in a week.
How?
I don't know.
And you were just like, whoa. Or you didn't even care at that point. You were like, oh, now I have a song that I can put in my video.
Exactly. But I was like, okay, I'll make another one because like all the fast-paced stuff right now is trending. Like there's a lot of fast-paced stuff going on Twitter. And you look at Twitter to find the trends for YouTube. So I go back and forth. And I made the song called You and I, which now has 94 million streams. My second song I ever made. Put it in the montage. And I tagged it on Twitter. First Fortnite player to use his own song in the video. That was the title. And bro, everyone was using the song after that day. Like the Fortnite streamers I was watching and looked up to were using my song. Everybody was using my song, bro. It's crazy because it was royalty free. Because nobody's getting copyright strike.
So you.
Yeah. So I continue to just be floored. Why would you ruin your life and someone else's? Why would you do that? Allegedly. Let's gosh, I need an arrest. I need a trial. As I know you all do if you're watching this video, because you are invested in justice for this little girl. Again, I hope this was helpful to you all in sort of explaining maybe why things have stopped the way they have so far. I really do feel like his family is very, very important to a grand jury, and they are very, very important people for prosecutors to question, unless they just go there and plead the fifth. If that is what happens, that will be really, really disappointing. And I know that it's a bigger conversation for all of you parents out there who may feel like you are torn on, if your child was involved in something like this. But I hope that all parents would do the right thing. I really hope they would, especially when a little girl is involved, a 14-year-old girl. But, I don't pretend to know all of the details, because all of the details are, they're not available to us right now. So, all right, guys, that's all. And now I'm all sad. But thank you for watching. And I'll be back tomorrow with another video right here on Los Angeles Magazine Videos. I'm Lauren Conlon. Thanks for watching, and justice for Celeste.